Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am glad you're here. I am so sorry that I haven't put any videos out, but if you did see my community post, we had a tragic weekend. I'm going to try to do this video in one take, but there might be cuts from me pausing. Yeah, but before I get into what happened, and I'm sorry about my voice. I'll try to clear my throat. I'll try not to. That's just it right now. I'm gonna do the quote from, not the quote, the hint from last weekend, from Saturday. So I want to do that because I won't do another one, and I don't know how long it's going to be before I make another video. But the movie was made in 1988, Zoltar F.A.O. Schwartz and piano, and that movie was big. And there's another reason I wanted to do this specific quote. As you guys know, we went camping on Thursday. We was going for the long weekend, and it's Jim, myself, and our best friends, Tim and Dusty. I know you've heard about Dusty before. And our friends Kenny and Devona, they don't have a camper, but we would always meet up with them. And I know you've heard me talk about Devona before. Dusty and Devona are my best friends in my real life. You know, I have all kinds of friends here on YouTube. You know, Steph is obviously my YouTube bestie, but in my real life, I have two best friends, and their husbands or my husband's best friend. So there's 6 of us. There's a friend group of 6. On Thursday, I think, and my memory's kind of clouded. On Thursday, it was just us because Kenny works on Thursdays. He works Tuesdays and Thursdays and every other Sunday. So she usually just stays home with her mother-in-law because her mother-in-law lives with them, and they usually do something. So we stayed at the campground on 4th of July, and we was able to see some of the fireworks. Our town was throwing. And then on Friday, Dusty, everybody was off except for Devona. She had to work Friday afternoon. And then I also know, and I'm sorry, it's just going to be all around you guys, because you know how I am on a regular basis of skipping around and everything. On Friday nights, our husbands are all in a motorcycle club. But Friday nights they have what's called church. They go to their meetings. Sometimes we go, sometimes we don't. That night, Dusty really wanted to go to the casino on Thursday night, and I'm like, you know what, Dusty? Let's go tomorrow night while the guys are at church. She's like, okay. And she really wanted to go. I was like, let's just wait till Friday. And Devona, we have our group chat. What are we doing tonight? Are we going to church? And we said, well, you know what? We're thinking of going to the casino, and the guys are going to drop us off on their way. And she's like, okay, I'll meet you there. Dusty and I had gotten there early, and we were playing. And the way the casino this month has a promotion every Friday night, from 7 to 10, they call 2 people for every half hour up to the winner's corner, and they were doing like a Queen of Hearts type thing. Dusty and I were sitting there, we was playing a game next to each other, and they called both of our names. And Devona wasn't there yet. They called both of our names, and we were shocked. And so we went over there, and what you do is you pick a card off of a board, and the lowest prize was $250 of free play, and the highest prize was $2,500 cash. We go over there, and they're like, do you guys know each other? And we're like, yes, we're best friends. And they couldn't believe that both of our names got called. And so she picked her number, and she got $500 of free play. So yay, Dusty. And then I picked, and I got $750 in free play. So that's basically the casino giving you money to play on. Had 7 days to use it, so we decided, you know what, we probably won't be back here in 7 days, so we used it. And Devona came, and she was playing. We ended up spending all of our free play, and Dusty walked out with like $384, and I ended up winning like $444, which all went to the getaway fund. But Devona never wins ever. She never wins. That's why she don't like going. But she won $70. So she was so happy. So happy. And so after that, Kenny came, picked her up, and the guys came, and then they wanted to go back in because they wanted to try to get their names drawn. No, that didn't happen. But anyways, we went back. Saturday, woke up. I came home to do something, and we was going to ride. Jim loves this Amish buffet place over in Arthur, Illinois. It's a little bit away from Decatur. But that's where his, like, headquarters are for his work. And so every time he has to go over there, he'll go over there next door to this kitchen. This is called Yoder's Kitchen, Arthur, Illinois. If you've never been there, if you're in the area, please go. And so nobody knew the way. So Jim led. We never lead, just so you know. We never lead because we have a trike. And if you don't know what that is, that's a motorcycle that has 2 wheels in the back and 1 in the front. It was a beautiful day. And we went over and we got there, and Kenny, I told Kenny, I said, hey, Kenny, look at this special today. It's a slice of pie at the buffet for $2. He was so excited. He loves pie. And when we sat down, before we can even put our order in, he said, I want to go ahead and put my order in for my pie. And she's like, sure, what do you want? He said, I want coconut cream pie. And she's like, absolutely. And then we all ate. It was fabulous. They all loved it. We got full. And his pie came out, and if I could, like, show you the picture in my head of his smile, it was the best smile ever. And I no longer turned my head and turned it back, and that was gone. It was gone. He ate it that fast. And then he's like, she gave me an empty plate. But then after that, he went and got ice cream. And Devona, she yelled at him. She said, I don't want to hear about your sugar being high later. And he's like, oh, it's not hot out today. It'll be fine. Which we don't know what that had to do with anything. And they had a big metal rooster outside, and us girls wanted to get our picture, and so we did. And it was a beautiful day. It was just gorgeous. I told my husband on the way over there, I said, God couldn't have painted a better picture if he tried. And we were 20 minutes outside of Paris, Illinois, and cornfields all around. Cornfields on both sides, open road, and and I will let you know that it's kind of a trigger alert, you guys. So if you can't handle bad things, then please turn off. And I thought I'd be okay not to cry because I thought I was out of tears. But it was Jim in the front. If you can imagine a 2-lane road with the center line. We were on the left side of our lane next to the center line. Kenny and Devona we were staggered, so they were right here against the white line. And Tim, and we had just taken off from a stop sign. They hadn't got back up to speed yet, but they were back a little bit of ways, which I hate for them. All this, there was a slight curve going this way for us, just slight, ever so slight. And we was doing that, and all of a sudden, me and Jim saw a car. And it was in our lane. It was coming into our lane. It was like just, they didn't make the turn. They just kept going straight. And they kept going straight in our lane. And I can't explain to you how close it was. But they just kept going over. They were in the center line. And we were right here. And we didn't see anybody in the car. We didn't see a face. There were 2 people in the front seat. But we never saw a face until the last second when Jim, because Jim was trying to decide which way to go, because he didn't know if they would look up and overcorrect and go back this way. So if we went that way, we'd have hit them, or if he went this way, but they kept going this way. So at the last second, Jim turned the bike like that. That's literally how much he turned the bike, and that's how close we were to missing them. They did end up hitting our bike, barely. We didn't feel it, But right before that happened, I seen the passenger look up and his eyes locked mine. And I heard a crunch. Kenny had seen it too. And he was trying to go off the shoulder because the car was coming this way. He was trying to go off the shoulder to kind of get in front of them, or at least, but he slowed down. There were, skid marks where he braked. They didn't brake, or at least slow down enough to where they would pass right in front of him, and then he would go right behind them. But I don't know, because it's so much happened and I couldn't see, but I think at that moment that guy locked eyes with me. I think the passenger jerked the steering wheel to the right. And in doing that, he turned right in front of Kenny and Devona. And they hit head on. And obviously they didn't make it. We don't know what happened. We don't know. They are not giving us any answers, the police, because we don't know what happened, why we never saw the person's face, because they were looking down. So if I could ask any of you, if you ever give me anything, please stay off your phone when you're driving. Please watch out for motorcycles. I know some people can be really stupid on motorcycles, but we're not. We were just cruising. Our top speed all day was 61 miles an hour on a highway. So we weren't even going that fast then, because we had just taken off from a stop sign not too far back. But my best friends, Tim and Dusty, were in the back and they saw everything happen. And I hate that for them. I wish I would have been in the back so I could take that away from them, because they're not okay. Kenny he did go instantly, so I'm thankful for that. But Devona was still alive. And we all just rushed to be by her and to try to keep her alive, which I know now that nothing would have, because of the trauma from that. But I think selfishly, I was being selfish. And I didn't want her to go. And I didn't want her to leave her kids. But if you knew them, they weren't two people, they were one. They were always together, always. The only time they weren't together is if they were at work. So I'm grateful that they both went together. And so is everybody else, their family, their kids. But I'm sorry, guys. My mind just kind of like racing around. But it seemed like it took forever for anybody to get there. But Dusty and I did end up calling 3 of the girls. The 3 youngest, they have 6 kids, but the 3 youngest we are so close that we are their second mom. And I know you've heard me talk about Kathleen or Kate, that she's in London, but she was moving home to Indiana at the end of the month to take a job up at in South Bend. She came home last night. I haven't got to see her. I probably will see her because my friend made me go yesterday down to the house to deliver food. I didn't want to, but I'm so glad she made me, because those kids helped me a lot. And I just know it's all going to start all over today when Kathleen's home and we see her for the first time. But, and I know you guys always see this bracelet. You guys always see me wearing this bracelet, and I have a necklace. Hold on, I'll take it off. Christmas 2022. I got us girls. It's always just been us. It's us three. We have friends, but we were the best of friends. So Christmas of 2023, I got these necklaces for us, and mine is a T for Tara, and then the other one, the heart is filled in right here, and that's D for Dusty. And then the other one right here on there, the heart is filled in for Devona. So each of them have a heart. And then for last Christmas, I found these bracelets, which had the hearts in the same spot. So, you know, me and Dusty always wore ours because we never take our jewelry off. Devona wore hers every once in a while. Yeah. But, I mean, this not only rocked our lives, but there's a gnat. I'm sorry. It rocked our whole community because Kenny was a paramedic, and he had been a paramedic for 30 years, and he's worked all over Indiana, you know, like Western and Eastern, Western Indiana, Eastern Illinois. I can't put my necklace on right now. My hands are shaking too bad. But this rocked thousands of people's lives in our community. I mean, it has been pretty much the only story that you see if you go on Facebook right now, because everybody knew them and everybody loved them. I always said they had a FOMO, fear of missing out. So they always went to everything and made friends with everybody. And that has really shown within the past couple of days of all the love and support that we have been shown and their kids have been shown. And yeah, so that's what happened. I know a couple people know. I did, you know, I've let a couple people know, and I feel bad because I put it in a chat with some YouTubers, and I think that I didn't mean to. I just wanted people to know what's going on in my life, and I think I made that chat kind of, I just bumped it out, you know, because nobody said anything, you know, after, except for a couple people telling me, you know, they're sorry and everything. But I'm sorry, and I'm so sorry to Steph for just spilling my guts out. And her worlds have been shattered, because you guys know, if you watch my videos, I talk about we were with our friends, and that's who I met, our friends. We were with them. My husband and Tim, they're not doing very good. They both have been in the military. They both were in for over 20 years, and they've both seen a lot of stuff, and they both have very bad PTSD, so they're not doing very good. Luckily, Jim has the know-with-all too. He went to the VA yesterday and talked to somebody. Yeah, so we're trying to get Tim and definitely Dusty in there, because I wish I could take back what they saw, but I can't, because, you know, you don't want to see that ever, and especially if it's somebody that you love and it's your family. If you guys don't know anything about a motorcycle club, it's family. It's not, oh, friends and stuff like that. Those guys are brothers, and us wives are sisters. You know, we're each other's brothers and sisters and second families. And with them, though, their family was our family too, because we were best friends. And it's somebody we Snapchat every single day, and for like 4 years, every single day. I still been snapping her kids. Luckily I found her phone. I was able to give it to her kids, and Jim did go out on Sunday. What's today? Today's Tuesday. Yeah, I don't know what day it is, guys. He did go out on Sunday because the kid said that his phone was out there. They have Life 360. They knew about the crash as soon as it happened, but they didn't know what happened because they got alerted. So they went and found his phone, and it was in perfect condition. It was in perfect condition, which we were grateful for, because the last picture us girls took together was on his phone. And those girls gave us those pictures. So I went to their house yesterday and I spoke. I got to talk to his mom. It's the first time I got to see her, and I told her we had such a great day, guys. It was a great day, beautiful day. And I got to tell her about their last moments. And the girls, we were, kind of going through some stuff, and they were just throwing stuff at me to take. Please take this, take this, take this. Because my love for a good koozie. It was all three of us girls. We had, koozie collections, and I had lost. She had bought me one I think last year, and I had lost it. It was on my drink, and it flew off the bike sometime, and I lost it. So I found that one, and I took it, and we took some stuff for Dusty because she wasn't there. It was me and my other friend, and they was giving us shoes because we all wore the same size. And so yeah, I'm going to go, and I'm going to meet those girls today for lunch, and I'm going to be wearing their mom's favorite pair of Hey Dudes. So that's pretty much everything. I mean, of course, I left out what we had to see. I wouldn't wish that upon the devil himself. But you can probably imagine if, kind of imagine what we saw when a car going 55, 60 and a bike going 55, 60 miles an hour hit head on. The occupants of the car, as far as I know, they were pretty much okay. I think they just had a hurt arm or leg. But they did send them in a cop car to go get tested at the hospital. We don't know those results yet. We feel there's something really shady going on. We feel there's really something really shady going on with the Illinois State Police, or with what these people were having a hard time. Supposedly we'll be able to get the report today, but they haven't released any of the names of the people who were in the car, and which I find weird. But anyways, the reason I wanted to do this, I wanted to go ahead and do this. This is in honor of my friend Devona. Devona knows my channel. She doesn't really watch it, but her kids do. So hi, babies, I love you. She was actually watching one Friday night while we was waiting on the guys. But anyways, I would always, kind of go with her and tell her, okay, what was this week's movie? And I gave her the hints, and she's like, I never know those. I was having kids when those movies were made. But I told her this one, and she knew it. So she actually knew one. I think that was the first and only one she ever knew. So that's why I wanted to say this today in honor of my best friend. If any of you, are interested in what happened, all you have to do is Google it. It happened on Route 133 between Paris and Arcola on Saturday about, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you. It was like 3, I don't know. It's been a blur. This is the first time I've been alone since then. Jim went over to his work to talk to them because he just can't go to work right now. And yeah, we will be bringing them home tomorrow. They did have to go to the state crime lab for their autopsies to make sure, there was nothing in their system, you guys. He didn't drink. and at all. Every once in a while he would do a shot of Fireball in honor of somebody, but he didn't drink at all. He drank water, and it was early in the day. She lived her Miller Lights, but she hadn't gotten to have one yet. So, you know, we were planning on going back and watching fireworks, and we probably would have, but there was nothing, and there was nothing they could do to avoid it at all. And all the shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and what ifs, and all of that are coming. And when they talk about survivor's guilt, I knew that was a thing, but I didn't know how real of a thing it is. And I'm thankful for my husband for making the right decision at the very last millisecond. You guys, this was 2 seconds. 2 seconds. That it felt like hours. So hug your loved ones. Tell them you love them. Because you never know. Tomorrow's never promised, you guys. So I'm going to go meet those girls, and we are going to talk about, I'm sorry, I know I keep starting and stopping because I keep remembering things, but, Dusty and I are going to be able to go down Thursday to see our best friend, because her wishes were to be cremated. We are going to go see her beforehand, so we can say goodbye. And then, he wanted a funeral, so that's going to be Saturday. And some of her will be with him. I don't know, because she didn't want to be buried, so I don't know what the girls are going to do. They're afraid she'd come back and haunt them, which she probably would. But I'm sorry for the rambling, guys. I'm so sorry. Your mind plays tricks on you, and some things you can remember, some things you don't. But I'll talk to you guys later. I love you. Bye.